be forewarned, I don't expect this to be the final matchup as we get into the presidential election. In my view, in the next couple of weeks, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are going to get thrown under the bus by the Clintons and by Clinton and the Obamas. That said, let's look at this. Tim Walz was probably the worst candidate the deep state could have picked for Harris, and this opens the door for Trump to basically pummel them with the truth and facts. But let's look at the states. Which states would go to who at this point in time? California, safe Harris Walz. Washington State, safe Harris Walz. Connecticut, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Maryland, D.C., Delaware, safe Harris Walz. Illinois, likely Harris Walz. Colorado, likely Harris Walz. New York, likely Harris Walz. Oh, and Hawaii, likely Harris Walz. 100 strong and safe Walz Harris. But now let's look at the states that would go to Trump, at least in my view. Alaska, safe Trump Vance. Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, Utah, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana. Kentucky. Hold on, let me just fix this. Kentucky, Indiana, Kentucky, Indiana, West Virginia, South Carolina, Iowa, North Carolina, all five districts in Nebraska. Granted, that's a lean. Maine 2nd District. And I also forgot maybe the 1st District of Maine. Maine to Harris Walz. And Ohio. And Texas to Trump and Vance. Well, that's better. There we go. Put in an extra color for Harris and Walz by mistake. Anyway, at this point, we would have 133 electoral votes still up in the air. 35 to go, 4 to go for Trump and Vance. 101 for Harris and Walz. Now, you're probably wondering why I view Oregon, Minnesota, New Jersey, New Hampshire, and Virginia as battlegrounds now. Well, it's simple. Given how much people were exposed to the truth of how much of a fucking idiot Joe Biden was, and how, especially Virginia, Governor Youngkin has more or less taken slow but surefire steps since he won the governorship back in 21 to ensure that Virginia gets cleaned up. People are seeing more and more that the deep state policies that they've been forced to vote for so many years have been nothing but dog shit. So I think this time around, this state could actually lean towards Trump. Towards Trump and Vance. Georgia, well, you guys know that Trump doesn't trust Kemp and Raffensperger as far as he could throw him. and he's basically put them under fire. Now, he knows full well their spots aren't up for vote until the 2026 midterms. But if he gets back in, he's going to, and with how voter integrity is now playing more and more vital roles, they had to cheat to keep Kemp and Raffensperger in to manipulate them for future elections. I don't see that going to work this time around, especially with the people of Georgia fed up with these two feckless fuckhead rhinos who deserve to get their heads cut off and their horns put on a trophy. Their heads cut off, put on a trophy, while on their horns melted down in the soap or whatever. Metaphorically, of course. Wisconsin to Trump. Georgia, definitively to Trump and Vance. Nevada, likely to Trump and Vance. Oregon is leaning towards Trump and Vance. New Mexico is leaning towards Trump and Vance. Pennsylvania to Trump and Vance. And don't believe that bullshit poll about Harris in the lead back in the lead in Michigan. That's going Trump. He's currently in the possession of Trump. Arizona, well back in the Trump camp, especially since Katie Hobbs isn't going to have a backdoor to cheat this time around. People in Minnesota are going to be voting against Walz and Harris if she stays in the race, because Walz let Minnesota be burnt to the ground. New Jersey and New Hampshire lean Trump and Vance. Don't believe the fake news polls posted by the mainstreamers. Now, why do I have the map set up this way? Think of it like this. For years, the Pacific Coast, Colorado, New Mexico area, Illinois and Minnesota, and all along the northeastern Eastern Atlantic seaboard have more or less been Democrat strongholds. However, if you take away states like Oregon, New Mexico, Minnesota, Virginia, or any of the states that range from New England to the north, to the mid-north, i.e. New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, or Maryland, you essentially cut off the power base of the deep state. And I think that's what Trump's going for. Oh, Maine at large, I forgot about that one. That's going to Trump and Vance, but barely in this case. Nah, I'll give Harrison Walz this little bone, but not by much. Nah, let's just give it to Trump and Vance and be done with it. And there you have it. 369 to 169 in favor of Trump and Vance. Because at this point, the people are getting fucking fed up with the deep state. They're now, these last 4.5 to 5 years alone have shown who the true enemy is. And if they instigate a war, I'm not sure if the people are going to be, but it's more than likely the people are not going to fall for it this time. Last time with 9/11, we did fall for it, hook, line, and sinker. Twice. This time, I don't think we're going to fall for it. And the people are going to fall for it. And war is the last resort the deep state players have to keep Trump out at any and all costs. Bottom line, I am hoping that when it is all said and done, Trump and Vance win. We get our country back on track. And those who have been treacherous to our country, we clean out the criminals that have been allowed in by Biden, Harris, Obama, Clinton, and Bush over the years. Illegally, I might want to point out. Anyone who got vetted and checked legally, they can stay. We get our energy independence back. We get our economy going on the right track. And as for these individuals, for their treason against the US, there's only one reward: the punishment of death. And it's one that is long fucking overdue. I don't like doing these political videos, mostly because there's shit that get my blood to boil or get me up in a jittery hit in a jittery state. But that's how I see this playing out. Like, comment, and subscribe. This is Mets212 signing out. Goodbye. Good fucking night. Bang.